Now you know what to do, right? There? Here. Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Narayanah Paro Vyaktat Andamavyaktasambhavam Andasyantastvime lokaha Saptadvipa cha medini. Are you all okay in the back there? Do you want to come sit in the front? No? Okay. Last two times, we saw that we are in an unenviable situation. What is the unenviable situation? Firstly, there is this jnana karma samuccaya vada, which we thought we had finished with in chapter 3. But the same thing happens in chapter 5 and also in chapter 6 discussion. This shows that the combining jnanam with karma is an ancient human orientation. Coming out of samsara doesn't seem to be so simple. How can it just be that I know I am Tattvamasi and everything is done Tattvamasi, I am that, I know, I am limitless, and it's so easy? How can it be so easy? I must do something afterwards. And in the tradition, all doing is beforehand, not afterwards. And then the second difficulty was the definition of meditation itself. And in Vedanta, two kinds of meditations are given. The first one for the person who is a sadhaka, meaning who is a beginner and who is a karma yogi. And then for the second one is for the jnani or the jnani wannabe, meaning the one who has all the sadhana chatushtaya under the belt. Means they know, they have vairagya, viveka and all the other, qualifications they have. So they know that they have that. So this is the second complication. The third complication is that what? Is that the discussion begins with verse number 3 and then it references verse 36 and then it goes back to number 2, number 3, and here we are. How many verses of the 6th chapter we know? 0, big 0. Till we came to the class, I thought I was a hero. Now I am what? 0. So now we are not in a very good situation. Hardly we started to enjoy the Bhashya that this fellow came up. Who is that? Purva Pakshi. Nanu, he said. What nanu? You are nanuing even just after 2 lines you have started to nanu. What is wrong with you? No, nanu. First objection, he does not like. Who is he? Purva Pakshi does not like. What does he not like? Why should be there a demarcation between the people who are fit for contemplation and the people who are not? Okay, we answer that question and we'll see how I'll tell you how we answered that question. How Adi Shankara answers that question, we'll see. But then it doesn't stop there. There are more questions centered on verse number 3. And therefore, without knowing what verse number 3 says, we cannot delve into this discussion at all. So we have introduced the Bhashya, we have taken one particular objection, and then there will be more objections based on the material taught by what? Verse number 3. So we are in a strange situation to begin chapter 6 with verse number 3. Usually, how do you begin? Verse number 1 in every chapter. You don't say, I'll go to verse number 3 and then come back. But we have no option, okay? Because we see that the arguments of the Purva Pakshi and Adi Shankara are going to get tighter and tighter, very much tight. So therefore, let us skip to verse number 3 at first, and don't worry, this other 6-page Bhashya, we will come back. Okay. Verse number 3. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate yoga rudhasya tasyaiva shamah karanam uchyate arurukshor muner brahma karma karanam uchyate yoga shamah karanam uchyate arurukshuhu. Rurukshuhu, what does it sound like? Mumukshuhu, very good. See, we are recognizing. Very nice. What is the meaning of mumukshu? No, not moktum ichha. Moktum ichchuhu. Yeah. If that, see, Sanskrit is very simple. If one thing ends in u, you also make it u. If it ends in a, you make it a. Okay, then you are safe. So, mumukshu is moktum ichchuhu, the one desiring liberation. See, in all these su and what is that, kshu words, we have one particular thing in common. What are they? They are desiderative. They have a suffix called san. So, san pratyayantaha shabdaha. So these are all san pratyaya ending words which make them desiderative. Very big word, desiderative. 5 syllables. What does it mean? In the sense of desire. And they all make feminine nouns. Jignyasa, mumuksha, ruruksha. What is ruruksha? Rodhum Ichha. What is rodhum? In order to ascend. Ascend, the desire to ascend. Ascend what? Ascend spiritually. Ascend means go up further in the level of, from a karma yogi, I ascend to becoming what? A contemplative, meditative person. And if I have that desire from being a karma yogi to ascending to that level of a contemplative, to have a contemplative practice, then what am I called? Rurukshu. Even the person wanting to mount a horse is also Rurukshu. Rurukshu doesn't have any spiritual significance, but since it is used here from the standpoint of meditation, we take it as ascend. The desire to mount, the desire to climb, the desire to grow, the one who has is called Rurukshuhu. Now, in this verse, Arurukshuhu, Arurukshuhu, Rodhum Ichuhu, Arurukshoho, meanings of the person who is desirous to ascend. Who is that? Munehe. Munehe. Mananashilasya. Mantum Shilam Asti Asya Asti iti Munihi. So for this Muni, who is who? For this sage-like person, who is what? Arurukshuhu, Asamantat means completely. Completely. Whenever the A comes, it shows completely. So the A prefix has the sense of completeness. So Arurukshuhu Munehe. So Arurukshuhu means the one desiring of ascending, climbing. Climbing what? That which is the object of climbing must be in which case? Second case. What is in second case in the first line? Yogam. Very good. Yogam Arurukshoho Munehe. So for the person who is climbing to become what? A yogi. Who is a yogi? The one who is tranquil. He will himself explain what is a yogi, etc. He will explain. We will see in the Bhashya, and then only we will go to the front end to see the various arguments. So, Arurukshoho Munehe, Yogam Arurukshoho Munehe. So, for the one who, what kind of a yoga? Dhyana yoga, a lifestyle of dhyanam. So, the one who is sage-like, why is the person sage-like? Has got all the qualifications, is a karma yogi, has been doing karma, and so for that person who is interested in ascending to another level, what is that other level? To going to become a contemplative person, desiring to go on the next level in terms of their practice, contemplation, etc. So, what is the pathway? The pathway for such a person is karma. The cause of karanam uchyate. Karma is said to be the cause, the cause or the means of attaining what? Attaining dhyana yoga, attaining expertise in contemplation. Karma is the cause, karma is the foundation. Karma means karma yoga here. So karma the person has to continue doing. Why? Because as I said in the introduction day before yesterday, as far as Adi Shankara goes, two kinds of people are there. One is what? The one who is in a preparatory stage, and the one who has perfected the preparation. For both of them, two kinds of upaya are given. So one is called yoga rurukshuhu, yogam arurukshuhu. Yoga rurukshuhu is the first one. Who is the second one? That is described in the second line. Who is the second one? Yoga rudha. The one who has already climbed onto that level of quietude and contemplation, having a contemplation. So for that person, what is the means? What are the means? For the person who has already done whatever karma can give, has got chitta shuddhi, cleanliness of the heart, purity of heart. Raga dvesha, bye bye. For such a person, shamaha is the means. We will see very quickly what shamaha is. Very soon we will see. Shamaha, slightly different meaning than shama, dhamma, uparati, titiksha, shraddha and samadhanam. There shama means a resolved mind. Here also it means a resolved mind, but it means turning away from the objects of desire is called shama. Like we have in India, we have fire engine offices, or fire offices where fire engines are kept. And in Hindi, what is it says? Agni Upashaman Kendra. The word Shama is there. So here the word Shama means the same thing as it means in the fighter's office. Upashama means putting an end to, extinguishing. Extinguishing what? Desires and the trouble they create. Desire is okay, but what does it do? It goads you into action. And the Vega connected to the desire, Vega means pressure. Desires we can have plenty, no problem. We can have a few more also. But they create pressure, they create pain, they create sorrow. And so this is what is called what? This is what is called pressure, binding desires. What is a pressure-filled desire? If I don't have it, I will die or I will kill somebody. Only two options. That kind of a desire is what has to be watched out for. And so here is where this is the problematic verse. For who? Not for us, for the Purva Pakshi. This is the problematic verse because the Purva Pakshi says this type of bifurcation, kimartham, why two roads, two kinds of people? Why? Not fair. Because the Purva Pakshi is jnana, karma, samuchaya, vadin. The Purva Pakshi does not believe in sannyasa or giving up as a lifestyle. Why? Because like a one-trick pony, you teach a horse and the horse can only do one trick. Whenever you go, the horse does only that one trick, or the dog. You teach the dog, shake hand, it will give out one paw. Same thing it will do, because if it does it enough number of times, it knows you will get fed up and give it something to eat. Like that, this Purva Pakshi, he's got a fixated Shruti Vakya in his head. And that Shruti Vakya is called Yavad Jivam Shrutihi. What is that Shruti? Yavad Jivam Agnihotram Juhoti. It is expressed in two ways. Yavad Jivet Agnihotram Juhuyat or Yavad Jivam Agnihotram Juhoti. As long as you are alive, what will you do? Agnihotra. What is Agnihotra? Watering the garden. Correct? No. It's a particular name of a fire ritual which is Nitya Karma, has to be done daily. Okay? So, Yavad Jivet Agnihotram Juhuyat. Yavad Jivam Agnihotram Juhoti. He is fixated. He doesn't understand. This is just for a person who is not ready. This is for Grihastha. Yavad Jivam means as long as you are a Grihastha, you have to do this. You are Arurukshu, you want to take sannyasa, you want to go away, but right now you can't. What do you need to do? You have to do karma and use the karma for mental purification, emotional growth, spiritual development. And this way you will slowly evolve one day to giving up the karma completely. It's a natural process, not a forced process. Like that we have many other things in life. Like for example, in India we say always drive on which side of the road? Left side of the road. Then you get a chance to go to United States. Then you say, no, I am a proud Indian. What am I going to do? Drive on the left, because my Shruti, Indian Shruti, what does it say? Always drive on the left side of the road. So saying, I enter the highway, driving on the left side of the road. I am driving the car, but other people, I am driving them crazy because they are trying to avoid me. So we can't do that. That was for here, this is for there. Because where karma is concerned, options are there. Adhikari is there. So as long as adhikari is there and the adhikari finds the prayojanam, the adhikari is made to do the karma. Like for example, if one is doing Agnihotra, that means what? They are grihasthas, householder. Householder, husband and wife both do the Agnihotra. If supposing the husband is not there, the wife used to do Agnihotra. We see in the Ramayana, Sita does Agnihotra. And then we also see why Sita after all is a goddess. But we see the demoness, what was her name? Tara, the wife of Sugriva and Vali, she too does Agnihotra. So, we see the power of this Agnihotra, a daily ritual intended to purify the mind. It must be done as long as one is a grihastha. The purpose of the Agnihotra is to grow out of being an Agnihotri. Is an emotional maturity that creates a certain disposition in the heart. Is going to work, coming back, feeding the family, feeding the children, going to sleep exhausted, getting up in the morning, doing Agnihotra, going to work, and then same. Is this all that life is about? Until you ask that question, you have to do Agnihotra. And when you do Agnihotra with the proper spirit, these questions will come, as we saw in the morning Upanishad class. Due to punya, due to previous samskaras, these questions are bound to come. So therefore, for the person wanting to lead a contemplative life, Agnihotradi karma done with the spirit of karma yoga, not fixating on the results of action, having Ishvara be responsible for the action, and the results of action, and then receiving everything as prasada is the way. And what about for the other one? The one who is already prepared, jnani or not, but the one whose mind is prepared, for them karma is not the way. Why? Why is karma not the way? They have already done the karma and graduated. After you graduate from high school, where do you go? College. You don't say, I'm going back to high school. That means you didn't graduate, you failed. And that's why you have to repeat the class. We are not talking of failure, we are talking of success. So for the one who has graduated from Karma Yoga and a life of sacrifice, a life of yajna, a life of living for the sake of others, doing one's duty, helping people, there is a certain growth. For them, the next step is what? Capturing the mind, training the mind. Extinguishing all the desires. And so, this is what is the troublesome verse for the Purva Pakshi. Let us see the Bhashya. Arurukshoho arodhum ichchataha, for the one desiring to ascend. Anarudhasya, this is why we need Adi Shankara. Anarudhasya, anarudhasya means the one who doesn't know how to meditate, has not climbed the horse of contemplation, and so requires a stool because the horse is too tall. What is the stool? Karma Yoga. So you step on the stool and then you can mount the horse. So the stool is Karma Yoga. So Dhyana Yoge, in Dhyana Yoga, avasthatum ashaktasya eva iti arthaha. Anarudhasya. Anarudhasya means the one who is yet to attain that spiritual and emotional maturity and growth. And for such a person, who is that? Dhyana Yoge, in a meditational contemplative practice, avasthatum, ava plus tha, the readiness to stay, who is not able to stay. In what? In a contemplative life. If you tell the person to sit quietly for 5 minutes, they are not able to, sadly. They look here, look there, look at what you are doing, look at what somebody else is doing, and not able to do that. Like the story, Pujya Swamiji's story of the simply sitting Swami. So, this is from the British age. One more idea for the skits. Okay, a simply sitting Swami. So, this is from the British times. There used to be a small temple with only 3 employees and a Swami attached to the temple. Who were the 3 employees? Head priest, assistant priest, and the lady who made the flower malas and also cleaned the temples. And in those days, they were paid in rice, in measures of rice, bushels of rice, bags of rice. And those bags were called patta. So somebody had fixed up the salary. Head priest, 4 pattas, 4 bags of rice. That was the salary. Assistant priest, 3 bags of rice. Lady who cleaned the temple and made malas. How many? 2 bags of rice. And then Simply sitting Swami, SSS. How much did he get? 1 bag of rice. And the British, in order to rule and colonize India, deployed these officials called collectors. They didn't even try to hide what they were doing. They were collecting our wealth. Though that's what the collector did. So the collector had no idea what the temple was, what is going on, who does what, nothing. Collector, an arrogant man, said, we have to revise the fees. More should come to the crown, to not so great Britain. Okay, more should come. Why these people are having so much? Let's do a universal cut. Revised pay scale. What is it now? Head priest, 3 bags of rice. Assistant priest, 2 bags of rice. Lady, mala making lady, 1 bag of rice. Simply sitting Swami and you are giving him a bag of rice to simply sit? Forget it. 0 bags of rice. Next day everybody was very upset. Nobody liked this state of affairs. Nobody liked this at all. And then the Swami also wondered, where is my rice? What am I going to eat today? Nothing came. And everybody came to the Swami and said, you only have to help us out. We don't know how to deal with these colonizers. You please help us out. Swami, being very compassionate, said, let me see what I can do. Who did this? Collector did this. Call him. I want to talk to him. Oh, but he speaks only English. Doesn't matter. I have sign language. I will teach him. Collector comes. And then, with the help of an interpreter, simply sitting Swami says, why have you cut out my rice? What are you doing? I sit here all day. Then we should pay you to simply sit. And the Swami quietly says, it's not so easy to sit simply, you know. What do you mean it's not easy? Come on, you try. You try. First of all, the collector could not even sit on the floor. Collector's legs, the knees were up in the air like airplane wings. He asked for some, what are those things called? Bolsters. This will be a very nice kit, I'm imagining. We'll practice it today. So 2 bolsters on this side, 3 bolsters on this side, 1 in the back, 1 in the front. Then finally he looked almost yoga rudha. Okay? What should I do now? Sit, simply sit. Why are you holding your hands like this? Look, I am just having my hands like this. Okay, with great difficulty he brings the hands from underneath the bolsters, sits. Still he is squirming. Am I squirming? No, sit. Look at me and sit. And then the mala lady comes for her work. He turns around, looks to see who came. Am I turning around? No, I am simply sitting. You also just sit. And then the newspaper is delivered. One newspaper rolled up is delivered in the temple. He wants to go see what is in the news. His photo has come or not. He wants to see. Shut up. Leave that alone. You said I don't do any work. You also simply sit and watch. Simply sit. Then after a while, he needed 4 people to get him up from here. Okay? Heave ho. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, and then he hobbled out of the temple. One hand was catching the back, another hand was catching the knee. Because the back was catching him, the knee was catching him, he hobbled out of the temple hall. And next day revised the pay scale. Head priest, 4 pattas of rice. Assistant head priest, 3 pattas of rice. Mala lady, 2 pattas of rice. Simply sitting Swami, 8 pattas of rice. This is what is called Yoga Rudha. In fact, it will be a very nice skit. We can chant this and then do this. Yeah. I'm also trying to see who can be in the role of the simply sitting Swami. That will be fun. And who will be in the role of a collector. This will be so much fun. So, so now, it's not easy to sit simply. That is called Anarudha, the one who has not yet crossed that barrier of restlessness. And to be able to be at home with oneself, which is the greatest gift of all, the person doesn't have. That is called Anarudha. Let's look at the Bhashya again. Anarudhasya. And who is this Anarudhasya is very happily and easily explained by Adi Shankara for our benefit. Dhyanan yoge avasthatum ashaktasya. Ashaktaha, incapable. Avasthatum, to stabilize oneself, to stay. Dhyana yoge, in a contemplative lifestyle. Iti arthaha. So, Kasya arurukshoho munehe karma phala sannyasinah. So, arurukshu is also a sannyasi. What kind of a sannyasi? Internal sannyasi. How is the arurukshu? Meaning, the desire, the one who has the desire to give up karma and enter into a life of contemplation, how is that person also a sannyasi? Because that person has given up the desire for karma phala, has been able to cut the cord between karma and karma phala. This is the person. So, Adi Shankara says, karma phala sannyasinah. So, karma phala sannyasi. With reference to karma phale sannyasi. With reference to karma phala, because saptami can be used here, Vishaya saptami, with reference karma phale sannyasi ityarthaha. Sannyasinah, for the sannyasi. Kim arurukshoho? Yogam karma karanam sadhanam uchyate. So, the arurukshoho sadhanam kim? So, for such a person, what is the means, what is the spiritual means to get to the next level? What is the means? Karma yoga is the means. If this much is clear, let us go to the next line. Yoga rudhasya. Who is yoga rudha? The one who has already accomplished karma yoga. Punaha tasya eva. These words tasya eva, please underline, because this is going to be talked about a lot in the Purva Paksha Siddhanta. Tasya eva, for that person alone, shamaha. And shamaha is defined as sarva karmabhyo nivrittihi. Nivrittihi, withdrawal. From what? Sarva karmabhyaha, from all karmas. All karmas means all desires. Because only when there is desire, what is there? Karma is there. So the desire brings in karma. So for the person, who is this person? Yoga Rudha. Which kind of Yoga Rudha? Dhyana Yoge Arudhasya. The one who already has a certain quietude. So the one who has naturally gravitated to a life of contemplation, shamaha, upashamaha, extinguishing, like the blazing fire of karma and karma phala, extinguishing that. That is the means. Because having come so far, you cannot contemplate on gulab jamune namaha. You cannot say that, because that will take you back. That will take you back to becoming what? Rurukshu, not Rudha. If you are already a Rudha, you don't want to go back. You want to maintain that Vairagya. And so what is the means of attaining a contemplative life for the person who has graduated from Karma Yoga? The renunciation of desire and the subsequent karma itself. Do you see the two kinds of people here? So, if this much is understood, let us dare to go forward a little bit. Then, yavat karmabhyah uparamate tavat nirasasya jitendriyasya chittam samadhiyate. Beautiful sentence at baby level. Just write for us, okay? Yavat. This is an Indian way of talking. Till when? Yavat. Until when? Karmabhyah, fifth case, plural, from karma, uparamate. Uparamate means comes out of. From karma, one comes out of. From karma, the pressure is not there. Yavat, at which point in time one returns from a life of karma, tavat, at that time, nirasasya means the one without desire, nirayasasya, nirayasasya, what? Here there is a typo, that's what I am not saying. Nirayasasya. So, nirayasasya means the one who is, whose mind and the indriyas, what are indriyas? Sense organs and the mind are nicely conquered in their hands. Jitendriya. Jitani indriyani yasya saha jitendriya. The one whose senses, by whom, yena. Jitani indriyani yena saha, also correct. So, by whom the senses have been won over. Usually, in a war with the sense organs, who wins? Senses win all the time. Yeah. Why? Because they drive us senseless. That is why. So here, for a change, I am the victor. I am the one who has won this war. The senses are coming behind me quietly, following me like a shadow. So I am the one who has come out of this victorious. That is called Jitendriya. So, Nirayasasya means, ayasa means the one who is making effort. Nirayasasya means for the one, effortlessly one is growing. That is the idea. So naturally, so for the one who has withdrawn from karma, naturally what happens? The sense organs come under your management. You are not driven crazy by them. Chittam, the heart, the emotions, samadhiyate, become peaceful. Become peaceful. The emotions are not volatile. There is not a chip on the shoulder. I didn't get this. I deserve this. I have to have this. I should go here. I should go there. I should eat this. I should get that. I should visit here. I should visit there. I should do this. I should do that. Nobody is giving me this. Nobody is giving me that. Everybody thinks of me badly. Therefore what? I should prove myself. This is all what? Ayasa. So ayasaha here means the one who is the incarnation of ayasa. So now here, for the person who thoughtfully, cognitively has shifted thanks to studying the 5 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, for that person, what is in store? A natural progression is in store. Naturally, you do not need the stool to climb the horse, because why? You have already made use of the stool. You don't need the stool to climb. You have already climbed. And then, so chittam, the emotions are no longer creating a rebellion. The body is sitting in the class and the emotions are like a volcano. Seething inside, not able to listen. And so the senses become quiet. Quiet means I am victorious over the senses. And then what happens? Tatha sati, then what happens? Sa jhatiti yogarudho bhavati. Tatha sati means when that happens, in this manner, when this natural graduation and progress takes place, sa jhatiti yogarudho bhavati. Quickly, in Hindi we say jhat se, this is how it has come. Jhat se, very quickly, without any gap, the person becomes what? Yoga Rudha. Before what was the person? Arurukshuhu. Yoga Rurukshuhu to Yoga Rudha. Ashu, jhatiti, ashu, quickly, yoga rudho bhavati. Very quickly, the person takes to a life of contemplation. Here, yoga doesn't mean karma yoga. Yoga means what? Yeah, dhyana, contemplation. Very quickly, he attains this, he or she attains this life. And then he quotes the Mahabharata. Naitadrisham brahmanasya asti vittam yathaikata samata satyata cha sheelam sthitir danda nidhanam arjavam tataschoparamaha kriyabhyah. Very apt quote in the Shanti Parva. The Shanti Parva Parva means chapter. In the Shanti Parva, all the Vedanta quotes exist there. Okay? And so this one also is from the Shanti Parva. So, Brahmanasya, for the person interested in Brahman. The wealth of the person desirous of gaining Brahman is what? Is ekata, samata, satyata. Oneness. Means in the way I look at the world. I look at the world as non-separate from me. oneness. Then ekata, then what was the next one? Samata, equanimity, satyata, truthfulness, sheelam, steadfastness of conduct. And then sheelam, sthitihi, dandanidhanam. Dandanidhanam is non-violence. Then arjavam, riju bhava. Arjavam means the what is that? The thought, the speech and action are in a single alignment. I don't think something, do something, say something else and then do something else. That is not a straightforward nature. Riju bhava means so manasa, vachasa and kriya. Through the kriyaya, manasa, vachasa, kriyaya, there is a single straight line. There is no discrepancy. This is called arjavam. So arjavam, these are the ornaments. Vittam means this is the wealth of the Brahmana. So then finally what else is this? Tatas tataha cha uparamaha kriyabhyah. Then finally from that withdrawal from all kinds of actions. Withdrawal from all kinds of actions, that is also a ornament, a wealth of the person in Brahman, who is interested in Brahman. In the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, also we hear a similar sentiment. Talking about maybe 56 or some one of those verses. Huh? Yeah, but the 55, 56. So, the kurma example. So, yada samharate cha ayam kurmonganiva sarvashah. Samharate, withdrawal. Upaharate, samharate. Yada, 52. Yada, yeah, it can't be 52. It must be a little later. 58. Okay. Yeah, yada cannot be the word because many yadas will be there. Whole Gita is yada tada. So, yada tada yatha tatha. So here, yada samharate. Samharate, when the person is able to withdraw. What? Indriyani, the sense organs. From what? Indriyarthebhyah, from the sense objects. Like even a turtle. So when somebody goes, oh turtle, let me see. There is nothing to see. What do? They just put all their limbs and you just see one shell. That's all. They are hiding inside the shell. The Jnani here is likened to a turtle because at will the turtle can withdraw its limb and its head. The Jnani also can withdraw the limbs and the head. From what? From the sense objects. Withdraw the sense organs from the sense objects, and here it is extended to karma. Both vihita karma and laukika karma. Karmas enjoined by the Shastra and also karmas which I want to do for my own sake. Both those karmas are talked about here, and one is told, what is one told? That this abstention from action is the hallmark of someone called yoga rudha. And doing action properly without desiring the result is the hallmark of the one who is wanting to become yoga rudha. Is this much clear? Say yes even if you don't want to. More we'll see tomorrow because I don't want to go back to the Bhashya again. There. Which chapter? No, but that I know. Come on. Which chapter are you chanting in the memorization practice? 12th. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.